Hi guys, welcome to Chelsea Talks. Welcome to another brand new video. So hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to talk about the match which happened yesterday, Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, where the scoreline was 1-1, and it was a very weird game. Chelsea played quite well, but the same problems which has creeped up from the past 2 months again creeped up today, and it led to us dropping points once again. Now, I will keep this video very short. Uh, I won't go into much details. Although I'll provide you the game breakdown, the analysis, which players, how did they perform, the tactical stuff as well as the areas of improvement. But one thing which I noticed was that the same problems are there. We know that if there is one goal cushion, Chelsea always gives the opponent a chance to come back in the game. If the opponent keeps on fighting, then there is a high probability until 90 minutes that they will come back in the game. Either they'll draw the game or they might go on and win it. So this Chelsea team always needs a 2 goal cushion to win that match. And again, the same thing happened until 80 minute. There was a 1 goal cushion, and then we gave chance to Crystal Palace and they came back and they won, and they made it 1-1. The another area of concern is, we all know the areas, the players who are performing and who have shown a lot of improvement, but in order to build that champion team, in order to become the team who, like Thomas Tuchel said, that in order to become that team who no one wants to play against, we have to improve in certain sections. Although starting with, so there are three main sections which needs improvement. We'll talk about it in much detail, but what I have observed is that there are 3 areas where we need to improve if we want to build the players. They show some improvement and then again they drop down. So either we can look into the winter market, which is starting in January, or we can look into summer. But until and unless we improve those 3 areas, we are not going to win the championship, win the Premier League either, as well as we will not be able to win any other big trophy too. So yeah, we'll talk about that too. And before we go into details, another point was related to the points table. So now Liverpool is at 45 points, Chelsea is at 36 points, and Liverpool has 2 games in hand. So there is a 9-point gap, which might probably become 15-point gap from the top. So if Liverpool does not drop points, it is highly likely that Chelsea will not be able to catch them. So we can be assured that it is now in Liverpool's hands if they want, if Chelsea wants to compete anything for the title. But we never challenged for the title. Our aim was top 4, and now we are at the 4th position. The second is Arsenal with 40 points, 4 points lead. Had we won today, we would have made that gap to 2 points, because Arsenal also drew 1-1 with Brentford. So we would have reduced that point gap, but now it's a 4-point gap. And Nottingham Forest is at 37 points with one game to play, which will be played today. So Chelsea is at 4th position. But what concerns me is the teams which are below Chelsea. Now we have Newcastle which is at 35 points, Manchester City which is at 34, and Bournemouth which is at 33 points. So there is high probability that now whatever we do will decide our season, whether we'll be in top 4 or not. So it's like until December we were in such a strong position, and suddenly we have dropped off like anything. From 4th position to 7th position, there is just a 3-point gap, and if we lose the next match, we might be out of top 4 as well. And guess what? Who is the next match against? It is against Bournemouth at home. So a 6-pointer against Bournemouth, which will be a do or die game. if we want to stay afloat in top 4, because we know that Manchester City have been gaining points. We know that Newcastle has been gaining points. Newcastle beat Tottenham today. So the way they are performing, we need to win almost all the games coming forward. Now let's dive deep into the tactical analysis. So starting with the match review. The match started with so if you look at the starting lineup, we had Robert Sanchez in goal, and then we had Acheampong and Levi Colwill as the two centre backs, Cucurella as the left back, and Malo Gusto as the right back. Then we had Caicedo and Enzo as the Enzo and Cole Palmer as the three midfielders, along with Jackson at top, left wing held by Jadon Sancho, and right wing by Pedro Neto. So that was the team formation. Acheampong getting his first Premier League start, and I think it was coming. The way Tosin and the way Disasi has been performing, I think it was about time that Maresca make some changes, and the injury to Fofana, the injury to Badiashile might have forced his hand to make this change. Acheampong starting the first Premier League game, and overall he had a pretty decent game. He did not make much mistakes. He was calm on the ball as well. He lost the ball a couple of times, but overall he had a pretty decent game. One of the bright prospects for future. So now starting with the game, for the first 15 minutes, Acheampong started and he looked comfortable, made a few forward line breaking passes. If we look at the tactical aspect, what Maresca did was, earlier Cucurella used Cucurella or Malo Gusto, whoever used to play left back, would go in the midfield and it would make a box midfield. But now in this match, Cucurella didn't go in the midfield. Instead, he was bumming forward. So we had the Robert Sanchez in goal, and then we had the two centre backs, Colwill as well as Acheampong, and then instead of Cucurella getting in the midfield, it was Jadon Sancho who was coming more centrally in front of the goal, along with Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto. And these four starting behind Jackson at the top, and then we had Moises Caicedo. So the midfield looked like the triangle midfield with Moises Caicedo at the bottom pivot, and the 3 to 4 attackers, either be it Jadon Sancho, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer and Pedro Neto joining, or Pedro Neto even sometimes he stayed outside and he tried to cut back in. So Pedro Neto might not, sometimes he was not part of that triangle, but Jadon Sancho was more central, more in front of the goal, and along with Cole Palmer and Enzo Fernandez made that midfield. And the role of Cucurella in this match was that he was providing the width like a traditional wing back. So he was sticking to the byline. He was not going centrally. He was sticking to the byline and providing that width, bumming forward and coming back. And so that was a tactical tweak which Enzo Maresca made. Then at 13th minute, Cole Palmer scored that goal. Brilliant shimmy from Jadon Sancho at the halfway line, and then he bumped forward, cute intricate pass to Cole Palmer inside the box, and Cole Palmer finished it calmly. Very, very, very good goal, very technical goal, and both Jadon Sancho as well as Cole Palmer showed their class. And I think Enzo Maresca might have expected this, because Jadon Sancho is so good technically. It was a good move to play him more centrally rather than play Marc Cucurella or Malo Gusto centrally. Then as we moved on to the half time, there were multiple chances. There was, I would say, Nicholas Jackson, he missed 3 chances. 3 chances were missed by Nicholas Jackson. One at 19th minute, where that was a beautiful ball from Enzo Fernandez to one of the defenders. I think it was Levi Colville, who again passed it to Jackson, and if not score, at least he should have hit the target. So that was one big miss from Jackson. Then there was another miss. One was from Achimpong, which was at 27th minute, which was a header at the far post. Should have scored, but since this was the first match of Achimpong, we cannot expect that he will convert all those chances. Obviously he'll grow in the match, but that was also a missed chance. Then there was one more miss at 37th minute from Jackson. That was an excellent ball from Cole Palmer from the half, in Crystal Palace's half, through ball, and Jackson ran, and he had cut inside, and instead of placing it with his right foot, he tried to shoot it from his outer left foot. He tried to curl it in, and instead of going inside, it went out, and that was a very big miss, because if he is not sure and we are in dire need of a goal, he should play it very coolly. He should not try things, especially at that juncture. So that was a big miss from him. Then when we look at few other things which happened in the first half, one thing which happened was that as the match progressed, we saw Pedro Neto getting much more involved. He was playing very beautifully. He was combining with Cole Palmer, and I can say that Pedro Neto had a very decent game. He was using his pace. He would cut in and then he would pass. So all in all, Pedro Neto had a very decent game. Then Jadon Sancho's role was slightly different since he was more central. His role was to play more intricately. His role was to be more technical, and he also played very well his role. Whatever was assigned to him, he played very well. We know that Jadon Sancho does not hold up his energy throughout the 90 minutes. So considering that fact, the time which he played, which was 70-80 minutes, he was very good. He was very technical, and he created multiple opportunities. Then one more thing which happened as the game grew was how Crystal Palace was playing. So we saw that Crystal Palace started putting diagonal balls. As and when Cucurella would move forward, there was a lot of space, and Crystal Palace would move the ball to that side. Eze was there, and then he would pass it to Mateta. So they were playing a lot of diagonal balls, just switching the play from one side to the other side, so that Chelsea players who are out of position, who have bumped forward to contribute in the attack, would be caught out of space, and then it would create opportunity. And there were multiple opportunities which were created also in the first half as well as in the second half, and Robert Sanchez made a couple of good saves, but overall that was the tactics which Crystal Palace applied, and it fruited result as well. Now Chelsea ended the second half on a high, although there were few chances by Crystal Palace, but overall Chelsea were dominating. It looked like at some point that they would breeze through Crystal Palace, but missed chances, missed opportunities, not being clinical in front of goal led to all this. Now when second half started, as we move into the second half, when second half started, they did not make, no team made any substitution. The only tactical tweak which Crystal Palace made was that now instead of Eze bumming forward and occupying the space which Cucurella was leaving, now we had both the wingers who were bumming forward and occupying the spaces which Chelsea's left back and right backs were leaving, and they would pass in the ball more centrally for Mateta to get more involved, and that led to the goal as well. So that led to the goal, that led to the first chance also. At 48th minute there was a chance created by Crystal Palace which was very simple and very good looking, very exciting to watch. They missed the chance. It was a sitter, but they missed the chance. Robert Sanchez was more involved in the game in the second half. He had to make a couple of good saves. His ball distribution was also good. Then one another thing which I noted was that Malo Gusto, I know Maresca has been using him more attackingly, sometimes as part of the box midfield, sometimes as a number 10, a right back which moves into number 10. But Malo Gusto needs to improve his attacking prowess. Yes, he is good defensively, but his attacking prowess needs to be improved. And we have seen that in previous matches how his finishing lacks when there are multiple chances created from both the wingers, and how he is not able to finish. But not only that, there is one other aspect, which is the eye for a path breaking pass, which I felt that Malo Gusto had few opportunities, but he was not able to convert those. He did not had an eye to move that pass, to give that pass to which could lead to a goal. That because he is a defender, he lacks those, and that's why I'm saying that since Maresca has been asking him to play, he needs to develop those. There was one chance at 56 minutes where Malo Gusto was in a number 10 position, and we had Nicholas Jackson in front of goal, and we had Pedro Neto in front of goal. Had Malo Gusto passed that ball to Nicholas Jackson, it would have led to a very good chance. But instead, he chose to pass it to Pedro Neto, which in the end led to the wastage of the chance. So that's what Malo Gusto needs to have, that eye. I know he is a defender, so we cannot expect such things from him. If has it been Enzo Fernandez or Cole Palmer, then we could have expected. But then at 69th minute, there was a chance missed by Enzo Fernandez, which was also a very good chance. He took a shot outside of the box, and it almost went to goal. And then at another minute, at 70th minute also, there was a chance missed from Jackson. So Jackson in overall in this match missed 3 chances, 2 in the first half, 1 in the second half, which any other striker could have scored. If we looked at how Isak is playing in Aston Villa, or how some of the other strikers are performing across the world, Jackson, yes, he has shown improvement, but he needs to grab those chances. Until and unless we grab those chances, we will not be able to succeed. Especially in tight matches, we need that one-off chance where if we score, we can win that match. We have seen in previous matches also, against Everton also, he missed a chance which could have led to a decider. So we need that killer instinct in front of the goal. Then at 80th minute, Maresca made the change. I personally believe that his changes were correct, because nobody was playing bad. Yes, Jackson was missing chances, but his off the ball work rate was very good. So I don't think that any other change at any other time would have made any sense. Yes, Jackson was missing chances, but his off the ball work rate was very good. And we never know with Jackson, his finishing sometimes clicks and he scores a goal, especially in away matches. So I personally felt that the substitutions were good. Jackson was substituted by Marc Guiu, and not Nkunku. I think because of what we have seen in previous matches against Ipswich, against Everton, against Fulham, Maresca also saw that, because Nkunku's off the ball work rate is very bad. He does not trace back. He looks like he's not at all interested in the game, and so I felt that Marc Guiu was the right option. At 80th minute, that change was made, and then at 81st minute, as soon as Jackson came out, at 81st minute, Cole Palmer loses the ball in Chelsea's half, and then Crystal Palace scores. Mateta and Eze combine like they have been combining throughout the match. They combine and they score the goal at 81st minute. a very good goal, a very coming goal. It seemed like it had it not been now, it would have come 10 minutes prior or 10 minutes later, but a very good goal. After that, after the goal, everything became very chaotic, very Chelsea pushing the forwards in front of goal, and then Crystal Palace also trying to win the match. So it became very chaotic, but in the end it was 1-1. Chelsea, so we lost one away point. I talked about the tactical analysis, is how Chelsea formed a triangle midfield with Jadon Sancho coming more centrally, how Crystal Palace was involved by switching the balls, and then how they were occupying the spaces which Cucurella and Malo Gusto were leaving to come to bum in forward and give that crosses for Mateta to score. So tactically it was not a very difficult game to analyze. Now when we look at the players, the different players, and then three players who did not have such a good game. Starting with Acheampong. Acheampong played very well. Considering this was his first match, he looked very solid defensively, good path, line breaking passes. He played very well. So if there was a man of the match given from Chelsea's side, it should have been Acheampong. Good game. Moises Caicedo, again very good game. Moises Caicedo, few misplaced passes, but overall a tank in the midfield, very good game. And then Cole Palmer also had a very good game. Very good passing, very good intricate passing, combining well with Pedro Neto or Enzo Fernandez and Jadon Sancho. He had a very decent game. So these three were the very top players. And then if you look at three players who did not have such a big impact or did not have much good game, one was Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson missing so many sitters was certainly the point which led to Chelsea dropping points in this game. So Nicholas Jackson, not a very good game. Then the second player which did not have such a good game was Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella was getting caught multiple times when he was bumming forward, and his life was made very difficult. So Marc Cucurella, not a very good game. Third player who did not had much a good game was Malo Gusto. Yes, he was very good defensively, but his attacking aspects were not that good. So Malo Gusto needs to improve his attacking aspects. Did not have much to contribute in this game. Now the third, let's see what is up next for Chelsea and which are the areas of improvement. So up next, which we have a home game with Bournemouth, which like I said is a 6-pointer. If we do not win that game, we will be out of top 4. Today was a must-win game. We should have won that. Now we have put ourselves in danger. Now we have to perform exquisitely well for the next 1 to 2 months to stay afloat in top 4, because all the other teams will be coming back. Manchester City had that drop, now they are coming back, and Newcastle had that drop, they are coming back. So Aston Villa has been performing well, and we also have Nottingham Forest. So it's going to be very crowded at the top. We had our chances, we dropped them. Now we have to perform exquisitely well for the next 1 to 2 months. Then areas of improvement, like I said, we need to improve 2 to 3 areas. First is we need to have an exquisite striker who can finish one chance. If there is one chance, he needs to finish that. Something like we had for Didier Drogba, where whenever he used to get one chance, he would finish that. So we need some killer striker who could compete against Jackson as well, because we have seen that there is no competition for Jackson. So he tries to sometimes he becomes very complacent. Yes, he's fighting, yes, he is improving, but sometimes he becomes very complacent. So the second thing is, again, we need to have someone very good defensively. We cannot rely on youngsters, we cannot rely on academy graduates like Acheampong to come in and play week in week out against very top teams. He will be found out against teams like Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal. He will be found out. So we need to have a very good defensive pair. These two areas. The third area is we need to have that 2-goal cushion. Until and unless we get that 2-goal cushion, we are not assured that we will win the game. So we need to have that 2-goal cushion. Chelsea has been scoring that first goal very soon, but then if the team keeps on fighting, the opponent team keeps on fighting, there is always a 1% chance that they will come back in the game. So we need to have that 2-goal cushion as soon as possible. 3 areas of improvement: 6-pointer against Bournemouth next weekend. Hope the team improves. Hope Maresca builds them tactically and Jackson is able to convert those chances. Let's see what happens. I'll talk to you guys after the next match. Until then, take care. Bye bye.